think I'm a few minutes early. We'll see if some people start to come in. This has certainly been an interesting day. The energies of the new moon have been quite intense for me. So I wanted to start by taking a look at the actual discussion of the new moon in Cancer in the book Moonology, Yasmin Boland. So that's what I will start with, is reading what she has to say about this. So I have my, see if I can help my reading a little bit with my glasses. It says, there's a new start in your private life. Something is rising up in connection with the people, places that you hold dear. This can be a member of your family, a flatmate, or moving house. So during this time, it has something to do with your private life. If you're hoping to move forward with something special in your private life, this card comes to you as a message that you can do it. If you've been neglecting somebody, it's time to change that. If you've been neglecting yourself, take better care of yourself and nurture yourself. So this is a time, if insecurities are holding you back, that's something for you to work on now during this time. Doing this could bring your heart's desire. So make sure to put a family first at that new moon in Cancer. So it's important to have our family first at this time. So some of the other things it says is, let someone get a bit closer to you. A new circle is starting for you and your children. It's time to revive your goals. Have they changed? Meditation will help with your insecurities. And spending some time near water will bring you peace and answers. I know for me, I will often spend time in the tub to get a little bit more water time. A little bit of Epsom salt for salts and water are a good way to take care of yourself energetically. So the new moon in Cancer can be a super emotional time. The moon is all about emotions, and Cancer is a water sign. So it can be a very emotional time. It can also be very happy, very sad, kind of wherever your emotions are going, they're going to be a little bit stronger. So wherever you put them, they're going to magnify. So you can think about that. For the next few days, we will have the energies of the new moon in our lives a little bit stronger than usual. And at this time, we'll kind of have that stronger emotional tug. So it's a good time to connect with the positive emotions. So those will be a little stronger in your life. Or, like for me, I ended up having a little bit of sadness today, a little bit more crying maybe than usual. But it was actually a good thing. It's good for purging and for letting things go. So I wanted to read first about the new moon in Cancer and kind of like where that is at. So, and then I wrote down a few things that I want to talk about today. So the first thing that is coming to me here at the time of this moon, thriving is a state of mind. And so when we are doing really well in our lives and things are going well, we can know that it's because our minds are in a really good place. And when things are really struggling and we're having a hard time, we can know that our minds are not in as good a place. And so, as we look at our lives, it can be a barometer for us. And it's kind of interesting because everything I wrote down really kind of has to do with this manifesting. So, I guess this is something we should talk about. So, one thing I was realizing today is how much I'm dealing with fear. And I have a real fear, a fear of loss, fear of suffering, just a fear of losing out. And it can be in all the different aspects of my life that I have this kind of like fear of loss. And so what'll happen is fear is a block to what they call manifesting, which is like using the law of attraction to attract things into our life. And what I realize is that when your fear is really strong, it's like a magnet, and you are actually attracting into yourself um, through this magnet the things that you fear the most. So if you're allowing fear to be the attractor to you, then you are going to be in a little bit more trouble because letting fear be your attractor or be your magnet, you'll bring the things that you are afraid of. So it looks like somebody has joined us, so welcome. Okay, anyway. So, yes, so we're talking about the new moon in Cancer, and right now for me, it seems to be a lot about manifestation and the law of attraction, and what we see around us, is an indicator of how we're feeling and thinking inside our hearts. So, I think the main things I wanted to talk about today is the new moon in Cancer, and it's about private, about our private lives and the things will grow and change over this time in our private lives. And anywhere from connecting better with our families to moving, so any of those combinations. And then that this is thriving is a state of mind. And so what we're thinking about is what we're going to see around us. And so the more positive stuff we see, the more positive things will come into our lives. The more difficult things we think about, the less positive things that we see in our lives. And then, especially if we're manifesting out of fear, if we're having a lot of fear, then we are actually bringing into our lives, through the law of attraction, we're bringing into our lives the things that we're the most afraid of. So when I look back on my life, I can see many times the thing I was most afraid of did end up happening in one way or another. And it had to do with using fear as a tool instead of, the opposite of fear would be feeling safe and secure. And we, can rise above our fear with our courage and our bravery and our strength. Having the conviction of heart is so important. So the other thing I want to do during this time of the moon is to take a look at the moon cards. So I'm going to pull a card for each zodiac sign. So I'm going to start with water. So we'll do water, air, earth, and fire. And so that's the intention of putting in the cards: water, air, earth, and fire. And we'll do each one of the signs. So we'll start with the water signs. All right. Put some Reiki energy in the deck. All right, so Cancer. Believe in the impossible, the blue moon card. This is one of my favorite cards. So this card reminds us that miracles and magic are all around. And it says, once in a blue moon. So Cancer, right now, with this super moon in your sign, believe in the things that you are really longing for in your life, that they are going to happen. All right, Scorpio. Your dreams need a practical plan, the full moon in Taurus. So you're being called to have more of the energy of stability, strength. And so Scorpio, you're looking at things kind of in a different way than you usually do. Look at things more in a practical sense, and you'll do really well during this time. And with manifesting things into your life, maybe manifest more of the practical things. Okay, and then the third water is Pisces. Okay, moon in Sagittarius, the new moon. Luck is on your side. Okay, so Pisces, this is a great opportunity, time for you. Grab onto this opportunity, see where it goes for you. Okay, so the air, Gemini. Full moon in Cancer, a personal issue reaches resolution. So Gemini, if there is something going on in your life, this is a good time for it to be resolved. And you're going to see things a little bit differently, a little bit more clearly, a little bit more directly in your life at this time. Libra. Time to give rather than take. The new moon in Virgo. So Libra, right now is a good time, and you're always trying to balance your energy. And at this time, really look at a way to maybe be a little imbalanced, do a little bit more giving. Okay. Aquarius. Aquarius, yours is the mutable moon. Nothing is yet set in stone. Okay, so at this time, you can just embrace the air nature of you, go with the flow, see where things go. If you don't know exactly where the path ahead of you is leading, but you're on the right path, that is really where you should be, and just move forward in that. Okay, so the third section, the Earth, Taurus. All right, a fiery climax approaches. The full moon in Aries. So Taurus, you're coming to the end of something at this time, and it has to do with passion. And it could be that as every time we come to the end, we also face a new beginning. And so it could be that this cycle of the beginning and ending is happening. It was interesting this week. I was asked, if you were to lose everything, what's the worst thing that could happen? And I was like, you'd have to start over. And that's kind of interesting because, a fiery climax approach. So you are going to have to be starting over because when one thing ends, another begins. So we'll see where that leads. All right, Virgo. Conclusions are within reach. The full moon eclipse. So Virgo, for you, it is a time to start getting some clarity, to get some answers. Neptune is going retrograde into Pisces today. And so I think that usually is a time for a little bit more clarity. I'm also noticing how this moon is behind these clouds. Conclusions are within reach. So there's, I mean, these trees, there's still a few things there that need to be washed away. Let's see where you go. Capricorn. All right. Step out of your comfort zone. North Node. Oh, it's interesting. My North Node is Capricorn. So step out of your comfort zone. So Capricorn, you're being asked to do something that you might feel is a little uncomfortable to do, that you maybe don't want to do. One thing I heard today is part of releasing fear is every day do one thing that makes you scared. So I think for me, I could just call somebody I didn't know every day, and I would be able to make myself scared every day. I don't like talking on the phone to people, especially people I don't know. Step out of your comfort zone. Okay? That's our advice. So now we're looking at the fires of Leo. Let's see. Surrender to the divine. Full moon. So this is a full moon in general, just letting go, releasing, going with the flow, seeing where things go, Leo. You know, sometimes it's hard to do, but just following your heart and seeing where it leads for you. Aries. Okay, new moon in Pisces. Meditate and contemplate. So Aries, you're being called to spend some time to just sit back, do a little meditation, contemplation. Take a day where you're not doing anything. You're just kind of just being, just being. You know, it's hard sometimes to connect this water energy with fire. But if you think about it, they are so much alike. They both have that move and flow to them. And really, you know, all the elements do, except for kind of earth is a little bit harder to move around. And now, last but not least, Sagittarius. Full moon in Capricorn. The end of a tough cycle approaches. So, Sagittarius, whatever you've been going through is coming to an end. New things are happening. New things are moving forward for you. So that is good news. And so I like to pull a card for the overall energy. Work through your fears. And isn't that just what I was talking about, was fears? New moon in Scorpio. So working through your fears at this time. So especially on a personal level, if there are some things that get you afraid, embrace that fear, work through it, allow yourself to feel the feelings, feel the feelings, know where you're at in this situation. Okay. Well, I think I just feel kind of impressed and maybe pull a couple of tarot cards just to kind of see what are the energies at this time with the new moon. Since I didn't seem to get a lot of downloads this time. Let's see what we have. Okay. So the underneath of the deck is the Knight of Cups, which often has to do with an offer of love, romance, and some kind of love rushing into your life. So I would say that this is a love reading, that the cards coming out have to do with romance and that kind of connection. All right. So the first card, the Empress. So she's saying a thing to do first is really to ground yourself, connect with the earth just like she does. Connect with her beautiful energy of grounding into the earth, connecting with all things living and growing, being the goddess of the earth. And that's the first step toward this um, romance and this romantic relationship. So, if you're looking for romance and romantic relationships to run into your life, one of the most important things to do is the grounding. Also, with the Empress, we're kind of seeing that the number 3. So the 3 has to do with like you, me, and the universe. So you, me, and God. The 3 of us combined together, the Trinity, the trilogy. Um, so she's bringing in this concept of unity and learning how to really combine your efforts. So the next card is the Hermit. And so the Hermit comes to us and is kind of talking more about that spiritual quietness inside. Again, he's very connected with the earth and it's kind of the Virgo energy. This is the Taurus energy and then the Virgo energy. So we're looking at with the Hermit, I kind of am being drawn to his light. And in this case, it's an actual fire. It's a fiery, wand. It's a, fiery energy that's coming out. And so it's kind of like up inside of him is coming up this fire. And so really capturing the fire in you. So you could think of this as, grounding into the energy of the earth and then pulling that energy up into yourself with this fire. And so the 5 of Cups, many times we don't see what's right behind us. All he sees are these cups that have fallen. He doesn't know how he's going to get across. But if he looks a little closer, there are 2 cups here ready for him to use and the ability to walk across. And so, optimism. So we were talking about that, this concept of, we thriving is a mindset. And so this is what this is about, if you turn around and you see the cups that are there for you, and you're grateful for them. And so I have a meditation on gratitude, and that is the goal of it, is talking about very simple things. Your bed, your flowers, your home, very simple things that you're grateful for. And as you embrace this gratitude, you are going to have a new mindset, which brings in a lot more thriving in your life. So we're grounding, we're bringing up this fiery energy, and we're creating in our brains a new mindset toward seeing the positive, being grateful what's there, what is there for us, what we can see. And so then the Queen comes in, and I kind of feel like these 2 go together. And it's learning to speak your truth. So this is the communication, and this is she speaks the truth. So learning how to really speak the truth in your relationships and in your life. And there's so many times that we think we kind of say things maybe that aren't quite true, and we say them so it won't hurt someone's feelings. But in the end, in order to have this really strong, good romantic relationship, the first step to learn in all of our relationships is more about speaking our truth. And so that is the message of this moon. I kind of feel like the grounding and bringing all the fire through you is kind of like the Kundalini energy going through all the chakras. And then it kind of bursts out your head with a whole new mindset, being able to thrive in a new way. And as you're thriving in a new way and you're changing your perspective, you'll be able to speak your truth, to say what's really on your mind and heart in every situation. So that is the energy of the new moon, the update for the new moon in Cancer. Super excited about this. I'm excited about starting to do lives on the new moon and the full moon with my channel. Spiritual Rebirth Sanctuary is a safe space for healing. I'm Dr. Madeline, and I'm so glad that you guys are here. Please check out some of my meditations, pick your cards, and other ways that I'm really trying to help support and benefit the community. Blessings to you.